Hey, what's going on YouTube? Today I'll be talking to you guys about buying a brand new Subaru WRX versus buying a used Subaru WRX. Now I know it's commonsensical, but a lot of people have been asking me, so this video is dedicated to those handful of subscribers who personally reached out to me. So starting off, guys, if you're considering buying brand new or buying used, it's probably due to financial circumstances or due to your budget, right? You don't know and you want to get the best deal that you can. Don't worry, I was there, and I was also looking at the used market. I was looking at the website called Auto Tempest, and I was kind of gauging around prices and seeing one that would fit my budget and fit my needs. However, ultimately in the end, I leaned more towards buying a brand new one due to the clean slate. So guys, right off the bat, if you guys can, I highly encourage you to buy brand new. Yes, I understand it is a lot more expensive. However, you don't have the headaches and the possible risk associated with buying a brand new vehicle. You're covered under warranty as long as you stay stock. And ultimately, this means you support the brand. When you buy brand new off the lot, you support the company and you're like, hey, look, we like this vehicle that you created for us. And that ushers them and nudges them to continue making great products for us. So like if you love the WRX and you don't want it to die, keep buying it. Buying it brand new means you support the brand and they'll keep creating WRXs for you. However, if you don't, eventually our WRXs will get cut off and we won't have WRXs anymore, and eventually it's going to get even harder to find yourself a WRX. So starting off, guys, patience. Again, you know, I mentioned patient again and again. If you are patient and you are budgeting strictly for this particular vehicle, it's okay to wait a little bit. I waited 3 long years so that way I could buy a brand new car. Buying used, yes, means it's a lot cheaper, but you run the risk of the challenges and the problems that come along with it. Now, like I said, this car is very popular already. So right off the bat, when you see it on the used market, you're going to question it, like, hey, how come this highly popular and highly sought out vehicle, why is it on the used market? Always be skeptical when you go into looking at a used Subaru WRX. So if you guys are going to continue into the used Subaru WRX market anyways, I'll provide you guys with a list of things to look forward to when you are gauging into the market to possibly buy yourself your used Subaru WRX. Now, first and foremost, guys, be very skeptical of everything that they tell you, of the owner, the seller, of the vehicle in general, because in the end, you're risking it, you're taking a chance. And so starting off the list at number 1, guys, is know the value of your car. So do the research as much as you can, and know the price point of every little detail of your car, from the mileage ranges to everything, right? So know the value of the car, that way you can haggle it. If the car seems too good to be true, know the worth of the car, or if the car seems overpriced, you can try to haggle them down, say, hey, look, this is the KBB value of this car and I don't really agree with it. You're the only one on the lot, on the market, and I want to buy this car, but it's a little too steep. So use that to leverage and haggle to bring the price point down to what fits your budget. Number 2, guys, is ask for maintenance and records, right? Make sure that you have a compiled record of all the maintenance done to the vehicle, because it is a sports car. It is not a normal car. You can't, run it to the ground. You need to know that there are maintenance records available for this car if the owner can provide it to you, and you want the car to be a clean title. If it's a brand new car and it's already salvage title, more than likely this guy has been racing with it. He probably rear-ended someone, or someone must have crashed into him. So don't even chance that. If it's a salvage title vehicle, don't buy it at all. So make sure that they have that, and also kind of gauge at the mannerisms, right, of the seller. If he or she is very reluctant to provide it to you, then it's already a red flag of you shouldn't purchase this vehicle. So make sure that they have detailed documentation for everything, because like I said, in the end, this is your money and you're taking the risk, and they're not. They're trying to let go of it due to whatever reasons. Number 3, guys, check for mods and alterations to the vehicle. So if you are looking at a used Subaru WRX and they pimped it out, they got coilovers, they got a cob access port, they're running stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage whatever, more than likely I recommend not buying it, because they're going to try to upsell you and say, hey, look, I did all of this to my car and I expect the same back. No, it's a big no for me, because when I buy a new car or a used car, I want it to be as close to stock if possible, especially if it's a sports car, because in the sports car world, it's all about modifying your vehicle to reflect what you want, right? And so the specification, the mods, and all the stuff that they did to their vehicle met what they wanted, and so it doesn't really reflect me and what I want. So ask them if they can change it all back to stock, tune it back to stock, and I'll buy it for as is. I don't want all the parts, I only want the car for what it is at stock. So check for that. If it's mod heavily, there's a high chance that they couldn't find anyone to pass their smog. Like they're not going to be able to pass smog, and so they're going to try to sell the car off, and more likely you're going to inherit that problem and you're going to try to have to smog the car yourself. So be very careful of modifications, especially heavy modifications. Number 4, guys, check the exterior of the vehicle. Look around for blemishes, look for damages, look for rust, check the suspension, check the tire treads, you know, like just kind of gauging at it, looking at how the wear has been. If it's even all around, then they've probably done a really good job. They didn't really race it, they, you know, drove it daily, you know, their daily usage and stuff like that. So check for every little thing like that, and be careful. Like I said, always be very skeptical. If you see anything that looks funny, question it. Like it's your right to question it, because you are potentially buying this vehicle. Check for oil leaks, and you know, in the engine bay, check the caps, right? So if everything looks too clean, be skeptical. If it looks too dirty, be skeptical as well. And it's like I said, it's all up to you at how you gauge it. I recommend bring a friend if you can, a mechanic friend. But if you're going solo, or if you're going with a family member, be skeptical as can be. Like if it's too good to be true, you know, I say stay cautious. And so check under the caps, make sure that, you know, there's no burnt like residue, it's not brown. Like make sure everything checks out, make sure there's no like displacement of the parts, like it was damages that they're trying to cover up and stuff like that. So just check everything in general about the vehicle. Number 5, guys, check the interior of the vehicle. So if it's clean, you are more likely good to go. If it's dirty, they probably haven't done a really good job cleaning and detailing the vehicle. And this is also in essence the same thing as a smoker vehicle versus a non-smoker vehicle. You don't want to buy a vehicle that smells like cigarette butts or like vape, you know, residue at all times. And you know, you want it to be as clean as possible. You know, the respect is you want to buy this car the closest it can be from factory, from brand new. So you don't, unless you're a smoker or vapor yourself and you don't mind, you know, for me, I want my car to be as clean as possible, as close as I can be to brand new. So check the interior, make sure that everything checks out. If it's not, you know, more reasons for you not to buy the car. Number 6, guys, take it for a test drive and turn off the stereo and listen to the car, feel how the car feels. And like I said, take mental note of every little thing that looks kind of funny to you or feels funny. If the owner is trying to talk to you and talk, tell him to quiet down, him or her to quiet down, because in the end, I think they're trying to talk to you so that way you don't focus on some of the, you know, peculiarities of the vehicle or stuff that they're trying to cover up, right? So have them be quiet, have them just let you drive the car and test drive it. Take it out as long as you can, if you can, right? Take it to small roads, take it to the freeway, take it for several turns, you know, test at the lower RPMs, higher RPMs, in betweens. Check everything to make sure that this car checks out. Moving on to number 7, guys, is be willing to walk away, right? If this deal is too good to be true, more likely it's not. And be very, very careful and be cautious, because I don't want you guys to get gypped or ripped off. It's not a pleasant feeling. I've seen a lot of WRX and STI owners buy used, and they come onto the forums and they complain about, hey, there's an oil leak, there's problems, it's burning smoke, all of the electrical wirings, all the lights are flickering, I don't know what to do, it's not covered under warranty. So just be very, very careful and don't end up like that. And ultimately, in the end, to wrap it all up, guys, ask for the reason why they're selling it. So like I said, guys, the Subaru WRX is a very, very popular vehicle, and when you see it on the used market, you should already be skeptical of it, like red flag up in the air, just like, why is this popular car on the market, right? And if they're gonna give you an excuse like, oh well, this isn't meeting my my circumstances anymore, or I'm trying to start a family. That's a BS excuse in my opinion, because this car is already a sports sedan, and this car is very, very practical and it has a lot of utility. So to me personally, I don't think that flies. The second most common answer I get from a lot of people is, I'm selling it to upgrade to a truck, right? And I don't know, like I'm not a truck guy, but that just doesn't sit well with me. Like, really? Like, you bought this car because you were probably infatuated by it from all the utility aspects of this car, of the popularity of the aftermarket support and the overall community of this beautiful car, and you're selling it because you've changed your mind and you want to upgrade to a truck. If so, how come you're not trading it into the dealership? You know, like, be skeptical, like kind of question every little thing about it. And you know, in the end, it's ultimately up to you, right? If this car is too good to be true, and there, you know, it's flawless, it seems like there's nothing wrong with it, then by all means I highly recommend you purchase it, because it'll be a lot cheaper, and you know, you got yourself a Subaru WRX. It's amazing, you know. However, guys, like I said, be very, very skeptical and follow these steps in hopes that, you know, in the end, just use your common sense and just make sure that if it's too good to be true, it's probably not. So like I said, I highly recommend buying brand new if you can. Be patient. You know, it's only a $3,000 to $4,000 price difference. These vehicles hold their value very, very well. However, when you're trying to resell it, it's also very, very difficult to get people to buy it at that price, to justify it. So often people would go and buy brand new. So like for this car, for example, at the rate I'm going, maybe in 3 years, I'll have probably 15,000 miles on it at most. And so, you know, I'm not planning to sell my car, but if I am, a lot of people are going to question me. They're going to be like, you have a 2018 Subaru WRX with only 15,000 miles on it, and you know, you're saying you babied it and you have full maintenance records and all that stuff. Why are you selling it? I'm selling it because I'm not getting the right trade-in value for my vehicle through the Subaru trade-in program, and I would like to upgrade to a brand new Subaru WRX. I think that's a more justifiable reason than to say, oh, family circumstances have changed, I'm having a kid, I am going to upgrade. This car is amazing. This car is quiet, you know, fairly quiet, and it's a really, really good family car too. So, you know, it's just me being me, and I think people are always trying to upsell their vehicle and always trying to get, you know, try to pretty much dissolve all of their issues and kind of throw it onto someone else. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys like this video. Please give it a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe if you do. And of course, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. And don't forget to subscribe.